that this was it. I was going to die. I wasn't going to make it. I just lost my children and saw my father shot again and again and again. I lost track of how many shots went off. The smell of smoke, the aftermath, the air foggy from all the gunshots that went off, the smell of gunpowder and burnt flesh that filled the air. I was shot 7 times, literally from head to toe. Along with that, my children were in my arms lifeless. And I just lay there thinking of how. How did it get to this point? How did we get here? How and why did Gawain Rashane Wilson, aka Rush, take it this far? How? I thought he was my Prince Charming. He was there for me in every way. And perfect at first. The first night we met, we talked for 7 hours straight. Our night didn't end until I had to go to work. My car battery even died and he moved heaven and earth to get it restarted for me. We molded perfectly together. We could talk for hours. He made me feel like a princess. Our relationship moved so fast I was living with him in less than 2 months. I loved him with all my heart, but something wasn't right. Nothing was ever right. I was never good enough, pretty enough. I was never what he needed or wanted. There are 3 things that stand out to me today. 3 things that should have let me know I was in an abusive relationship. He was very short-tempered over little things. That was sign number 1. I remember one day we got in an argument because dinner wasn't done on his time and he threw a coffee table at me. That wasn't the first time he threw things. He immediately began to be overly apologetic. That was sign number 2. Overly apologetic over anything and everything. I remember being in the car and a car swerved into our lane while driving our brand new car. He punched the wheel and left a dent in the steering wheel. He apologized for days. He apologized for simple things like not cuddling because he was hot or leaving the fridge open as he made something. He was always critical though, always, and that was sign number 3. My weight was a huge one, especially after I had the girls. 3 days after having the girls, he asked me if I was going to lose the weight I had gained. I only gained 30 pounds with twins. I wasn't that big. But to him, it was everything. The way I dressed. If I left the house, I had to have my makeup on and a cute outfit on. We never left the house looking a mess. It was unacceptable. I'm the type of girl that wears leggings every day with a t-shirt and bands. I was not used to this. But I let it go because I thought he was trying to make me better. I thought this was just his personality. I had never been in a serious relationship before. I had no idea what to expect or what I was doing, let alone he was 6.5 years older than me. I always appreciated his apologies. Sometimes they were cute, sometimes unnecessary. I thought this was him, and if I loved him, I needed to embrace all of him. As far as him being critical, I was always very critical over myself. I thought he was pushing me to be better. What do I know now though? What did I learn from being in an abusive relationship for over a year and having twins with this man? I learned that I deserved more. I deserve to be loved and appreciated in a healthy manner. That if I don't choose the right relationship, I will end up right where I was, right back in a situation where I was so torn down and felt so worthless. I don't ever want to return to the depths of hell that I was living in. I've learned there are other ways to support you, other ways to love, because in all reality, there was never love present on his end. I'm strong now. I love myself. I am surviving this aftermath. I will continue to fight for women and men who are in abusive relationships, fight for their freedom, fight for them to know what real love is, what a real healthy relationship is. Thank you.